Hello and welcome once again to the Hard Brexit scenario on Football Manager 2020, where the UK has left UEFA and has left to fend for itself by creating its own Champions League and splitting the Premier League up into like 40 divisions and whatnot. But why not carry on and see what's happening? It's a transitional episode. This one, we're just going to see what's cracking at the moment in the leagues and the Champions Leagues, and may even have a look at the cups as well. Depends what we have time for. I don't really want to go too long, but let's start off with the big competition, of course, in the scenario, the Brexit Champions League, featuring the champions of all 85 different top divisions. So let's start with Group A, with Nottingham Forest leading the way by 3 points, 16 points they've got so far. They're 3 points clear of Ipswich in second, and then the other teams aren't close enough behind them. Group B, Watford are top, 18 points, 2 points clear of MK Dons. Then there's a big gap between them and Yeovil. Group C, we have Ross County top of the league with 16 points, 3 points clear of Norwich City. So Ross County getting the win over Norwich, it seems. Well done to Ross County. Doing it for Scotland, it seems. Luton aren't too far behind them. In Group D, we can see Leeds are top. Same points difference between them and Plymouth in second. Motherwell only a point behind Plymouth as well in third. In Group E, Derby County, they are top on goal difference ahead of Gillingham with 24 goals scored compared to the 18 of Gillingham. The impressive one there, 12-0 Derby County beat One Love. But I think we covered that on the last edition, potentially. In Group F, Chelsea, they banged them in against Elite on match day 1. They only scored 3 against them in the return match away from home. They are still top of the group, but only thanks to that fantastic goal difference. They are quite a few goals clear of Swindon in second, but both teams on 15 points. In Group G, we can see there Manchester United, top of the league. They are 1 point ahead of Kilmarnock in second. Kilmarnock they've lost 2 games, both to Manchester United. Manchester United have not lost any and have a game in hand. So I imagine that points gap will extend once Manchester United play their game in hand. In Group H, West Bromwich Albion top by a single point against Bristol City, 15-14. But Bristol City have a game in hand, so it could be a similar situation as to the other group. But Bristol City could go top there. In Group I, well, actually, another interesting point on that group is the team from the Isle of Man is ahead of Newtown of Wales. The Isle of Man, like the British Territories teams, are probably the weakest of all the British teams because they're all like created by me, and they're ahead of Newtown, like a Welsh team, an existing team. Still, anyway, Group I, Celtic, they are top. They are a point ahead of Reading, but Reading do have a game in hand and can overtake them. Celtic dropping points to Woking, if we remember, and losing to Reading, but Reading have lost to Celtic, so they've already played each other twice. So who knows what's going to happen next. Group J, we have our first qualifier, Burnley. They've already made it through. They will be in the second round of the Brexit Champions League. Could they be joined by Lincoln, who have 1 game left to play and could extend their points tally to 16? You need to be only the top teams in each group are guaranteed to go through. Second and third places can go through. They just have to have the best points record or goal difference record if the points are equal. In Group K, Stoke, they look like they're going through. They only need, I would say, a point now to confirm it. The goal difference is pretty much confirming it anyway, but a point will guarantee it. Falkirk in second on 12 points there. Group L, Aberdeen, top of the group with 16 points, but Bournemouth, much like a few other groups, have a game in hand and are only 1 point behind them. In Group M, Liverpool, leading the way, 100% record. 27 goals scored, 2-6. They've beaten They've scored 6 in the last 3 matches in the group against Merthyr Town, Swansea City and PC United. So Liverpool are going from strength to strength here. Maybe it is their year to win this competition. In second, Dunfermline on 15 points. Group N, we can see Brighton and Hove Albion top there with 16 points, 3 points clear of Peterborough in second on 13. Group O, Southampton. They are top, 100% record. They've done well, not quite at the same goal difference as Liverpool, but they've only conceded 1 goal in the whole group, and that was against Hearts, who are in second, 3 points behind them. In Group P, Newcastle top on goal difference, full 8 goals clear of St Johnstone in second, and then both those two are only 3 points clear of Northampton in third. And then finally in Group Q, Leicester City, they are another team with a 100% record, 18 points. Hereford in second on 15, but Leicester do have a game in hand, and I imagine they will qualify once they win that one. So that is what's happening in the Brexit Champions League. If we were to have a look now at the Empire League and have a quick run through them, I say quick, it'll probably take ages. Top of Group A are Macclesfield. They're 3 points clear of Wycombe Wanderers in second, but Wycombe have a game in hand and can overtake Macclesfield if they get a big enough win. It depends who that game in hand is against. There's 6 goals behind Macclesfield, so it needs to be a big win. In Group B, Cambridge United, they are top on goal difference ahead of Portsmouth in second. 2 goals separate them. They're both on 15 points. I imagine they've both beaten each other. Nope, Portsmouth lost to Bath. So it means they might still have to play. That means they've probably got to play each other again in probably a deciding match. Group C, Blackburn have qualified for the next round. They have a 100% record and have got 21 points from 7 matches. And they're all pretty samey results, decent results. No massive muggings, if you will. Crawley is second on 15 and probably do have a decent chance of qualifying for the next round. Group D, Scunthorpe United top with 18 points, 3 points ahead of Bristol Rovers in second on 15. Scunthorpe still have a 100% record going there. In Group E, we can see there Morton are top with 18 points. They are 3 points clear of Carlisle in second on 15. North Village Rams a bit of a distance behind there, but it's a decent season for North Village Rams, finishing probably going to finish third in their group instead of the customary bottom for a Caribbean team. Does help that there's another Caribbean team underneath them and the team from Jersey. Also, Group F, Hibernian, they're top of the group, 3 points clear of Scottish rivals Raith Rovers. Weymouth only a point behind Raith Rovers though, with 12, so all to play for in Group F. Group G, Everton, 100%. Oh, I've skipped a bit there. Yes, in Group G, Everton, they've won 6 matches out of 6 played, scored 20 goals. They've had a decent run, no goals conceded, so they are looking quite likely to qualify. Although just behind them, only 3 points behind them, is Tweedmouth from Northumberland with 15. So they're only 3 points behind. The only match they've lost is against Everton, and they've probably got to play each other again. In which case, maybe Tweedmouth could win. They've got to play them at Tweedmouth. You never know. Group H, Arsenal. They're doing the usual Arsenal and not winning every game, but they're probably done enough to qualify. They drew with AFC Telford 1-1. I think we knew about that on the last edition, which means AFC Telford still have a decent chance, a slight chance of qualifying. They're on 13 points currently, only 3 points behind Arsenal, but Arsenal do have that game in hand. In Group I, Manchester City have qualified already. 6 wins out of 6, 19 goals scored, 0 conceded, 18 points. They only beat the Delhi 5-0. I'm disappointed with that result, but they do have to play them still. But it's an away game, it probably won't be as much. Maybe the Delhi are just that good. Tamer in second on 11 points, Larne third on 10. Group J, we've got Wolves top of the division. They're joint top, in fact. Top only on goal difference by 2 goals ahead of Chesterfield, but Wolves have played a game in hand. Chesterfield have lost 1 match, and that's to Wolves because Wolves have won every match. In Group K, it's Colchester, and they have qualified. Another team with a 100% record. Colchester, not one of the ones you're likely to think of immediately as getting a 100% record in their group. But looking at the rest of the group, it is kind of self-explanatory. Peterhead, Stranraer, Barwell, Strabane Athletic. No elite teams or against them. So it's possible. Peterhead in second on 13 points. Group L, Rangers are top only by 2 points, but with a game in hand. So Rangers on 16, Mansfield in second on 14. Group M, we've got another qualifier. Sunderland are into the next round. They have a 100% record and have another team with no goals conceded, but they have scored only 15, not as many as the other teams, but that doesn't matter when you're already through. Ayr United are in second, 5 points behind them. But they've, as I said, Sunderland have got a game in hand. Ayr have only got one game left to play. Then they can't catch them. Group N, we can see there, Burton Albion are top on goal difference ahead of Stevenage. Both teams, I think I'm guessing they've played each other twice already. Yep, they've beaten each other. So they're just playing for goal difference now. Stevenage needing a big win in one of their last 2 games. In Group O, Huddersfield Town are top. 100% record, 32 goals scored. That means there's been a big win. Yep, 17-0 against Academy Eagles. I believe they're from the Turks and Caicos Islands. So not a good season for Academy Eagles, but that is their only massive loss. 6-0 is the biggest loss after that. So not too bad, I suppose. I don't know. Inverness Caledonian Thistle are only 3 points behind them, though, meaning Huddersfield are yet to qualify. In Group P, no one's qualified in that group yet either. Hamilton and Torquay United both on 18 points. Hamilton with a game in hand and better goal difference. We'll probably see them through as group winners, but Torquay, I imagine, are a safe bet to go through as one of the best runners-up. And finally, Group Q, Alloa Athletic. They've played all their matches, and I'd hazard a guess to say they are through, but it's not mathematically definite just yet. Dundee United have just got to draw, and that will guarantee Alloa a place in the next round. But I imagine a haul of 20 points is definitely enough, even if they come second. Right, so those are the 2 main tournaments. Obviously, the Cup Winners' Cup doesn't start till late December, early January. So instead, we're going to have a look and see what's happening in the other club competitions, other Champions Club competitions. The European Champions League, with 1 match day left to play in that one. We can see that in Group A, Atletico Madrid and Napoli are already through. Budućnost losing every game, not too surprising that. Considering the rest of the group. Group B, Barcelona and Shakhtar, both already through as well, both only losing 1 match. Surprisingly, Barcelona have lost a match, actually, to Shakhtar. So Shakhtar, probably decent. Shamrock Rovers, yet to win a game. In Group C, Juventus are through. They've got a massive gap between, 6 points, not that massive, but a decent gap between them and Young Boys. Young Boys ahead of Bayer Leverkusen and could make their way into the round of 16. Group D, Borussia Dortmund and Zenit St. Petersburg are both through already. Lechia cannot catch them. While in Group E, the group of death, PSG, they've made it through already. They're unbeaten and have a 5-point lead over Bayern Munich. But Bayern Munich have only got a 1-point lead over Benfica. The question is, who is their final match against? I'd say Bayern are through because they're playing Tavria of Crimea in the final match day, while Benfica have PSG. So I'd say it'd be a very surprising occurrence if Bayern Munich were not to go through there. In Group F, Monaco and Inter Milan, they are both already through with a match left to play. And in Group G, Real Madrid, they're through. Not too surprising there, the holders. FC Copenhagen, 2 points ahead of Schalke, and they're playing each other in the final. No, they're not. In fact, Schalke have got Real Madrid in the final game, so it could be Schalke missing out on the knockout competition. And finally, in Group H, Porto and Salzburg both already through. If we take a look now at the Europa League, quick look at how that one's going. St Etienne are through already from Group A. Mechelen not quite yet, but probably going to make it. Group B, no one's through yet out of Real Sociedad, Freiburg and Galatasaray. That's like a mini group of death there. Only 1 point separates those 3 teams going into the final match day. Group C, it's a different story with Roma and Athletic Bilbao already through. While in Group D, same story there. Sporting Lisbon and Valencia both already making it through, both winning pretty much every game apart from the matches against each other when they win their home games. against each other. In Group E, Lille are already through. Rapid Vienna probably going to join them, ahead of Maribor by 3 points and with a much better goal difference. Group F, Atalanta and Spartak Moscow, they are both already through. While in Group G, Hoffenheim are through, and Lech Poznan probably going to join them. Hartberg 3 points behind them, but the goal difference is not massive between the two, so anything could happen on that final match day. Finally, in Group H, AC Milan, they've made it. That was probably obvious given the rest of the group. Krasnodar possibly going to join them. Krasnodar on 9 points in second place, and Krasnodar also have to play the team in last who haven't won a match yet, so I imagine it'll be them going through. Finally, in the Europa Conference League, quick run through here. Thun already through in Group A, Hobro in second, while in Group B, Universitatea Craiova and Hammarby are through to the next round. Nantes and Radnik in Group C, while Group D, Konyaspor and Antwerp will be in the second round. Group E, Lazio and Cologne, the two obvious choices from that group, going through. While in Group F, CSK Moscow are definitely through. Vojvodina only 2 points ahead of Slask and Volos going into the final match day. And in Group G, Eibar, Spain's representative, have made it. They're 10 points clear of St Patrick's Athletic in second, but the Irish team could be making their way into the next round if they get a positive result in the final match day. Finally, in Group H, Vorskla are through and will probably be joined by Petro Club Hincheski, depending on how them and Paphos do in the final match day. Are they against each other? Yes, they are. That's what we like to see. So that is all of those. Now, let's have a run through the British divisions and see how we'll start with the big ones from the other two. Glasgow, the usual, Glasgow and the Western South Glamorgan. So in Glasgow, the fixtures are starting to catch up on them again. So as per usual, these two teams lead for most of the season, and then Celtic and Rangers catch up on their fixtures and take over. So Dumbarton, top of the league at the moment with 39 points. Partick Thistle second on 36. And then down in fourth and fifth are Rangers and Celtic, who both have a few games in hand. Celtic have only played 9. Rangers have only played 10. And both are unbeaten at the moment. So I imagine once they catch up on their fixtures, they will overtake those teams. BSC Glasgow hanging in there in third. So well done to them. Keeping Queen's Park at bay down in sixth. What else? Wales. We have South Glamorgan. We can see that in South Glamorgan. Cardiff City, no problems for them regarding fixture pile-ups just yet, because they are 10 wins out of 10. 44 goals scored, 0 conceded. No one's catching up with them just yet. And best results out of the last few fixtures, a 8-0 win over Cardiff Draconians, who are only in 7th. So what does that say? Barry Town holding firm in second place, only 2 points behind, only dropping points in one game. What am I doing? We want to go here. West Glamorgan. Swansea, they are having the same problem as Rangers and Celtic. They've only played 8 compared to the 12 or 13 from most of the rest of the division. Port Talbot are having a similar issue down in 9th, except they've lost matches too. Swansea, they've got 100% record. Decent wins. They've conceded goals, not quite as good as Cardiff then. Afan Lido are top on 31 with second Neath on 25. Right, let's breeze through those English ones. Actually, let's have a look at the cups. Being a bit rude to the Welsh there, not looking at their cups. We'll have a look at the Scottish Cup as well in a moment. So Welsh Cup, quite a few teams still in there. Swansea are playing Clanfairpwll, and we can see that Cardiff are against Brimbo in the 5th round, but it's not at the good part just yet. And we can see also in the League Cups, we're down to 1 page on these tournaments. League Cups and South Glamorgan, Cardiff, they are still in it against Pontyclun in the next round. I imagine they'll probably win it. And in West Glamorgan, Swansea, they've got South Gower. And after being so rude to Scotland, we'll have a look at their cups as well. Are they down to 1 page in the Scottish Cup? No, they are not, but we can pick out matches there. Rangers playing Turriff United. Celtic against Arthurlie. Aberdeen against Lochar Thistle. Alloa Athletic, the surprise team for most of these seasons so far. They're playing Genefield Swifts. Ross County against Arbroath. Queen's Park against Partick Thistle. Bit of a Glasgow derby there. I'm not seeing Hearts in it. Oh, Hibs are playing Rove, sorry. Do we have a Hearts match? I don't know. It looks like they might be out. Oh no, they're there. They're playing Hereford. It's very hard to pick them out at this stage of the Cups. Then we see the draws for the latest rounds of the League Cups in Scotland as well. We've got the group stages, not all completed yet, as well as Dumfries and Galloway. Fife, they've got a group stage going there. 4 groups of 5. Glasgow League Cup, Celtic against Partick Thistle, Rangers against Cambuslang Rangers. Queen's Park v St Roch's and Shettleston versus Dumbarton. I imagine we're going to see a Celtic Rangers Queen's Park Dumbarton semi-final lineup there. In Grampian, Aberdeen playing Fraserburgh in the big team game. Highlands and Islands, Lanarkshire, Lothian, Perthshire. That one's pretty. There's only 3 rounds and one of them gives St Johnstone a bye to the semi, so it's basically the St Johnstone tournament there. Renfrewshire. And finally, Scottish Borders, where it's a small group stage with the 2 group winners playing in the final. Over to England now. See how they're going. So, in the Bedfordshire Premier Division, Luton are top of the league by 2 points. Leighton and Biggleswade Town, they are following behind them. Biggleswade Town having a decent season so far from the looks of things. While in Berkshire, you can see that Reading and Maidenhead are both on 30 points, but Reading with a much better goal difference. Probably helped by 8-0 and 7-0 wins as the season has wore on. In Bristol and Gloucestershire, we can see that Bristol City are doing their thing. 4 points clear at the top. Forest Green are not doing bad. They're only 4 points behind Bristol City, but they're both their losses. One against Bishop's Cleeve, one against Bristol City. So it's not going all their way, but the season is still young. Bristol Rovers only 2 points behind Forest Green as well, and Cheltenham not too far behind them as well. In Buckinghamshire, we can see that Wycombe Wanderers are 3 points clear of MK Dons, but MK Dons do have a game in hand. Cambridgeshire, Peterborough are 3 points clear of Cambridge, but no games in hand there. So that's it's only 2 points clear. Sorry, 2 points clear of Cambridge. I'm guessing they drew against each other though, so it's going to come down. It may come down to goal difference by the end of the season. In Cheshire, Macclesfield top of the league at the moment, 2 points ahead of Crewe and 5 points ahead of Chester. Congleton leading the best of the rest. While in Cornwall, it's a 7 point gap already now. Truro are showing that they are a force in the Cornish lands. Cumbria, Barrow. This is a surprising one because obviously Barrow and Carlisle are the only league team in Cumbria, but they are 10 points behind Barrow already. I know Barrow are the reigning champions, but still, it's a surprising one. Barrow 100% record so far. Good season so far for Barrow. In Derbyshire, Derby, they've got a 100% record so far and a 5 point lead over Chesterfield in second. While in Devon, it's the big 3 all doing what's required. 32 points each. Goal differences are very similar, with Plymouth just edging it. And each team have drawn 2. Are they all against each other by some chance? Yes, it is. They've all played each other and they've all drawn against each other. Everything else has been a win. Dorset, Bournemouth doing the usual, winning every match so far and being 5 points clear of Weymouth in second. In Durham, we can see Darlington are 3 points ahead of Stockton there. Hartlepool, in fact, they're down in 6th so far with about a quarter of the season gone, which isn't good for them. 10 points behind the top team, Darlington, who are 100% record so far. Hartlepool behind Consett and Spennymoor on goal difference. Actually, goals scored for Consett. It's a shame that Consett have dropped down. They were top when we last checked, but that was only like a couple of games into the season, so you can't blame them for losing dropping down the table a little bit after a while. In Essex, Southend and Billericay are the top teams there. They've got the top on goal difference, Southend, but Billericay have a game in hand and still have a 100% record compared to Southend, who have lost a match to third place Colchester. I believe that was against Colchester. Yes, it was against Colchester. Colchester are only 2 points behind those teams as well. It's getting interesting in Essex. Billericay could be bucking the trend of the usual suspects. Over to Greater London, and Arsenal, 100% record for them so far. 11 wins out of 11. I know they've made a few signings and dropped some dead weight, such as David Luiz and Granit Xhaka. So maybe this could be Arsenal's season. They've yet to win the Greater London Premier League, so it's a good chance to start now. Chelsea second, 3 points behind them on 30 points. They've only lost one match, and that was to Arsenal. Tottenham in third, so the big three are the top three. West Ham in fourth, Palace fifth, QPR sixth, and it goes all the way down. And it's as you would be in real life currently, with everything's about where they should be, including the bottom three are currently the three teams that came up. So come on, Bromley, you can do better than that. Greater Manchester, and is the usual suspects also doing the business there. Manchester United and Manchester City both playing 11, winning 11, but Manchester City are edging it by scoring 4 more goals than Manchester United. Neither a team have conceded a goal yet either, which is quite impressive, really. But they have yet to play. When are we due to see them play? No time soon. Apologies if there was a bit of a buzz there. The battery on my phone is dying, so really I should hurry up with this and stop faffing about looking at fixtures. Hampshire and the Isle of Wight, Portsmouth are top, 1 point ahead of Southampton, and there's an extra 2 points between them and Aldershot in third, while in Herefordshire, Hereford, top of the league, 33 points. That is quite the gap already. They're almost 20 points clear, and they've only played 11 matches. Not bad for Hereford. That's what happens when you splash the cash, apparently. In Hertfordshire, though, Watford, they are 3 points clear of Stevenage in second. 30. They've got the 100% record as well. A bit of a gap between second and third as well. So I imagine it's one of those two taking the title this season. While in Kent, 5 points is the gap between first and second, with Gillingham on 33 points and Ebbsfleet on 28. Dover aren't too far behind, though, on 27 as well. Lancashire, Burnley, they have dropped points now. They've drawn a game with Blackburn, the former champions, but there's still a big 7-point gap between the two sides. Burnley building up quite the lead this season. Accrington and Blackpool not far behind on 22 points each as well. Leicestershire and Rutland, it's the same old story. Leicester are already 10 points clear of Barwell in second, and it's all pretty straightforward, only conceding 2 goals so far. Lincolnshire, Lincoln are the top team there. They have a 7-point lead over Scunthorpe, so it's good news for Lincoln. I believe they bought basically half a squad over the transfer window, so it's not too surprising. They've been getting some big wins. Scunthorpe are second on 29 and Grimsby in third on 27. And in Merseyside, here's the shocker. Liverpool have lost their first league game in about 3 years. 3-0 as well at home against Everton. So Everton, top of the table. It's a bit weird to see Liverpool in second and not have any games in hand. Well done to Everton. Norfolk, and it's same as usual for Norwich, top of the league. The FA Cup winners from last season are 8 points clear of Kings Lynn in second, while in Northampton Town are top. They are 5 points clear of AFC Rushden and Diamonds in second, 33 points to 28. Northumberland, here's this one's often quite open, and Tweedmouth, the 2020 champions, are 5 points clear of Blythe Spartans, while Morpeth, the current champions, are down in third, 9 points behind the current leaders. Nottinghamshire, Notts County are the top team there. Nottingham Forest not top. They've not lost yet, but they've not won as many games as Notts County, and have dropped more points. They're only 1 point behind Notts County for that matter, as are Mansfield. It's all very close in Nottinghamshire at the moment. In Oxfordshire, Oxford 100% record, but only 2 points clear of Oxford City, who've only dropped only dropped 2 points so far this season to go with their local rivals. In Shropshire, Shrewsbury top on 30 points with AFC Telford in second on 28. AFC Telford are clearly having a decent season because they drew a match with Arsenal in the Empire League as well. So it's a decent season so far for them. TNS in third, a bit of a distance between them. In Somerset, Yeovil, they're top of the league and they're quite far at the top, 8 points clear of Poulton in second. Bath, an extra point behind them in third. Staffordshire, we can see Stoke are breezing it so far, but as are Burton. Both teams with 100% records, but Burton have played a game less than Stoke. Stoke 50 goals so far already and yet to concede, so some decent results there. They're surely due to play each other soon. In Suffolk, Ipswich Town are top by 5 points, 39 points for them, and AFC Sudbury in second on 34, Lowestoft in third on 31. So Ipswich not too far ahead, and they did lose in one of the cups last season, so they are beatable, apparently. In Surrey, Woking are doing the usual, but they have dropped points. So they have dropped points this season, so it's not a 100% record for them. Maybe splashing the cash wasn't the best thing for them to do. Maybe they needed to shore up the defence a bit. We can see Ashford in second on 27, Dorking also on 27, but behind on goal difference. In Sussex, Brighton are top. They're the ones with the probably the best transfer of the window when they signed Alexandre Lacazette, and it's showing because they've got a 100% record, 33 points, and a 5 points clear of Crawley in second, with 28 points. Tyne & Wear, Newcastle and Sunderland, both with 100% records so far, and both with exactly the same record. So that would go down to head-to-head should the season end that way. But they haven't played each other yet, so it's going to alphabetical order. Newcastle are top in alphabetical order. And we can see Gateshead not too far behind them, with 30 points compared to those two on 33. In Warwickshire, Stratford, they're not top. They've climbed up, and Nuneaton have dropped. Instead, at the moment, it's Leamington that are doing the business at the top with 29 points. Stratford in second on 28, and Nuneaton 5 points behind Stratford on 23. Warwickshire is starting to get interesting, isn't it? In the West Midlands, this one is always interesting, and we can see that Aston Villa are top on 36, West Brom second, the reigning champions, on 33, Wolves in third on 31, and then we've got Solihull Moors in fourth on 26. Birmingham, the bigger teams, Walsall down in fifth, Birmingham sixth, Coventry seventh. That one could go anywhere. It always can go anywhere there. In Wiltshire, Swindon top by 5 points ahead of Swindon Supermarine in second, and in Worcestershire, Kidderminster already 10 points clear of Redditch. So their big signing is probably doing what was wanted. Apologies, that was my cat. And finally, in Yorkshire, we can see that Leeds are not doing as well as they did last season. Hull, they've clearly signed players well, and are now 6 points ahead of the two-time Yorkshire Premier Division champions. Huddersfield and Middlesbrough are also on the same points as Leeds, as are Sheffield Wednesday, in fact, and then 2 points behind them, Sheffield United. Middlesbrough are doing much better now than they had been previously. We'll take one look at at the Greater London Championship, because Leyton Orient, and it's interesting to see one of the big teams in the second tier. I say big team, an actual league team, and we can see they've regained their composure after being second. When we last checked, they're now top, 5 points ahead of Welling in second. So I imagine they'll probably hold on to that, and we may be seeing Leyton Orient back in the Premier Division sooner rather than later. If we now skip down to the FA Cup, once we've got through all the lower tiers. In the FA Cup, they're only on the fourth round, and there's quite a few teams still in it. So to pick some out, Charlton v Watford is probably a decent tie in this round. We can see also Morecambe against Arsenal, Dover Athletic playing Chelsea. Man City are away at Chester. Bristol City v Newcastle United, another good tie in the round. Wantage against Leicester City. Nuneaton Borough against Crystal Palace. Aston Villa Tranmere. And Basford v Everton. Peterborough Sports against Liverpool. Northampton v Bournemouth. That's a close tie. Maidstone against Leeds. MK Dons v West Ham. Kings Lynn v Manchester United. And Tottenham v Sherborne. So there's some decent ties in the fourth round of the FA Cup. In Bedfordshire, we can see the draws for the League Cup. So I've skipped the Berkshire group stage there. Didn't mean to. See how that's going currently. Bristol and Gloucestershire, we've got that draw there. While in Buckinghamshire, they're already on the semi-final draw. And it's looking like a MK Dons Wycombe Wanderers final, as we can see there. In Cambridgeshire, they're on the quarterfinals there. Group stage in Cheshire. And it's looking like the usual teams will be in the quarterfinals there. In Cornwall, Truro are already in the semi-finals, as are Newquay and Saltash. And they'll be playing one of Callington or Falmouth. Cumbria, they're on the semi-finals there. And Barrow and Carlisle are having a big tie in the semi-finals. While in Derbyshire, they're on the quarterfinals. Devon, semi-finals, and the big three are in there alongside Bideford. In Dorset, the semi-finals there as well, with Bournemouth probably going to beat Weymouth in the semis and play Poole or Hamworthy in the final. Durham, group stage, we can see how that one's going. While in Essex, we can see they're on that round. Greater London, there's lots of teams in Greater London, so that cup takes a little bit of time. We can see that Enfield v Palace. Tottenham are playing Wellington or Kingstonian. West Ham v Wimbledon. VCD are playing Arsenal or Chelsea. So one of those two are not going to make it even to the fourth round. Met Police is still in there as well, so well done to them. Greater Manchester, Man United and Man City not playing each other just yet. They've got Rochdale and Bolton respectively, while Earlham and Altrincham playing for a chance at the semi-finals. Hampshire, we're on that round. Hertfordshire, we've got a group stage, just to give them a little look, or give you a little look at what that group stage looks like. In Kent, we can see that they're on the quarterfinal stage there, and the quarterfinal draw has happened for Lancashire too, and most of the big guns are still in it. Leicester are playing Loughborough in the third round of the Leicestershire and Rutland League Cup, while in Lincolnshire, they're on the quarterfinal stage. Merseyside, we've got group stage there, and Liverpool top. They've only played one game, but they're still top already. Norfolk semi-finals. Norwich probably going to get through to the final there. In Northamptonshire on the quarterfinals. Nottinghamshire quarterfinals, and another group stage in Oxfordshire, with all the main suspects probably going through as well. In Shropshire, they're on the semi-finals, and it's looking like a Shrewsbury or AFC Telford versus TNS final. While in Somerset, it's the quarterfinal. Staffordshire, we've got a quarterfinal draw there. Suffolk, a quarterfinal draw there. In Surrey, there's quite a few teams there, so they're only on the third round currently. While in Sussex, it's a similar situation. Tyne and Wear, it's the quarterfinals, and all the big teams have been kept separate. No South Shields, though. In Warwickshire, two groups as we know, but they're only one game in, and there's another four left to play. Stratford already top of their group, but they've been kept separated from Nuneaton this season, so they could play them in the final. In the West Midlands, they're in the third round, while in Wiltshire they're at the quarterfinal stage, and the semis in Worcestershire, with a Kidderminster Redditch final looking likely. While finally in the Yorkshire League Cup, we can see that we're on the third round draw, and most of the big teams are still in it, but I'm not seeing Hull City, so the league leaders are not in there still. Holders are though, but they've got to beat Armthorpe, which I imagine they probably will do. Has the draw been done for the leasing.com trophy yet? Nope, that one's waiting until December, and that is it for this edition. We've gone through all leagues, we've had our transition, we've gone on for ages, so it's about time I shut up, charged my phone, and cracked on with the next bit. So until the next edition, where we skip to the 1st of December and see how what happened in the Club World Cup, which I forgot to show you the draw for, but it doesn't matter, we'll make it a surprise in the next edition. So until then, like, subscribe, and rock on.